Hey, hey, get him in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What they talking about? They talking about nothing. 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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Aye. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about?
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here with the NEXZ archive. I cannot wait to dive into this. This is Why Not Choreography. I believe Alex is involved in this. It's gonna be really good. It is Peekaboo by Kendrick Lamar. That track is fire and this is probably gonna be very filthy and I'm gonna die. I'm ready. Let's go. Turn it off. Young Bean's on this too. Ew. Let's go.
What they talking about? They talking about nothing. 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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing.
This is giving archive format, isn't it?
What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Peekaboo, I just put them bookers in my chain. Peekaboo, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Peekaboo,
interesting.
So make a peekaboo, popping out, you better smell my name. Peekaboo, put 2 foreigns on a 4-5. Peekaboo, catching pepper here from doing pasta. Peekaboo, why you acting tough on IG Live? Peekaboo, you know my little off they rocker.
Hey, get them in. Yeah. That was a nice way of getting them in that.
I would not hold your hand. What they talking about?
Ew.
What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Aye. What they talking about? They talking about nothing. 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 Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Peekaboo.
Oh, were we? Yes, get me more. Oh, sorry, we're here. That one take is nice. Oh, I love it. The camera guy's got to know where in the formation shifting to in order for it to work. Yep. We gotta run. Staff have to run around so they're not caught. That was so seamless. Yeah. I really, there's something so, homely about this structure of their archive. Like, the Chill It one was cool. This one, this feels like the proper iOS update to an archive, if that makes sense. Oh, that's so fun. I love that. They're like, it's exhausting. Absolutely, to the floor. And I bet you that wasn't the first take. It ain't a one and done. It's a one take, but you're doing multiple takes. Wow, we're going to talk about it. Let's go. So, yes, I've really enjoyed every archive they've done. I have my preferences, right? Of course. I really like this one in the sense of, in the very beginning, pre-debut archives, they were in a studio. And then when we are now in 2025, we have archives. We love it. We're here for it. But we are not in a studio scene. This one feels familiar and it feels like a proper archive because of the format where we're integrating our choreographers the way that we are. Also with not a one take format of it, but the shifting of the formation. It's a very limited in concept idea, right? We're not doing a lot of gimmicks in this space, but also we're only dealing with at max 2 people. Or one person in other archives compared to an entire crew. That's probably another reason why it was harder to really focus on NEXZ and their ability to match other dancers. Like, you can clearly see them do that versus I can't tell who's NEXZ and who's not. Like, it's a different framework, but both are complements, if that makes sense. We're here to talk about this. Let's go. If you're like, Jess, you've seen all the archives, you bet your bottom dollar I have. I've also seen their discography. I'm still catching up on their newer stuff. That's going to be on Patreon for you to watch away, binge away, if you do not see it on YouTube, so go look there. Okay, here we go. So we're nice and slow, super chill. This track can be such a vibe, as you've heard, right? So we're down, we have a zoom in here. That's just an intro they filmed. They opened it, Why Not Choreo, Young Bean, and Alex. I love that. A, in full color. This was cute. Really nice little musicality moment, right? They go, what? And then we take it, we send it off. I think it's funny. This is in full color because we just watched this in black and white. So in my head, I just affiliated this in black and white. It is what it is. So we have our rock. And then we have that doo-doo-doom on the basses. We use that to help all change with the torso, helping in the justification of basses. Bring it up. That's a little, not as full-on sneeze. It's a ball change with a lot of hinges that we're navigating in for individuality. Then he brings it forward. Let's go. They bring the arms, they press it down in a little march step, and they go, we talking about nothing. A lot of choices in framing of the mouth because we're talking. We talk with our mouth. Talking about nothing. And we're tossing it down like, psh, we talk about nothing. We press it over, and then we end up taking a nice little stability check and rotating that upper body. It's really fun there. And they hit it, boom, boom. I like the head. Rotate it. We're here for it. Then bring it up with the feet, tap. Bring it through, and they go, huh? Which is nice, and they bring it in, and then we end up using that as a fun little subtle rock out of it too, and they bring the arms up and through. Good on the camera guy for us to be able to really appreciate that. It helps create more variety in that transition outside of just seeing it in isolation. This choreography was made for camera. It's not made for a fixed cam take unless they're wanting to convert it for concert. You know, if the fans want, like a fan con, if they want to see the archive in action, note that honestly, all of the archives, even if it's one take, they are made for camera. They're calibrated to where we don't have to think about featuring the same way like we are in a fixed cam concert structure because of, it's a concept, and we have the camera to help alleviate or allow the audience to be able to clock who we need to clock. So that's cool. Subtleties. They're very conversational. Tucking those elbows to the inside. Flipping the hands is really nice. They present it out. I like the drag. The pull there on the torso is really fun. They end up accenting with that leg. Pulling it up is also nice. Subtlety. I really like the tension on that. Looks really fun. They bring it through. They ain't talking about nothing. That little bass, boom, sending the arms up, and you have the, and then we have the bass, and the bass going in, using the elbows to help with that. Pulls are nice, subtlety. You have just a little walk here, the notice a little conversational, like the actual mannerism that you would make to make that sound is cool. Then we have our arms, sending them out. I like the peekaboo. We're looking to the side. He has his moment to the chest. Notice the stiffness of and the rigidness of that in the torso as we transition is really cool. We bring it over. That peekaboo, I like the taps on that. They read it over. Doo-doo-doo. That hits on the doo-doo-doo. Interesting phrasing choices. It's something we can respect, right? Even if it's like I would never in a million years think to put that choreography there. Boom, pointers up. And we're hitting the doo-doo-doo right there. That's really fascinating. And I really commend them for that type of exploration. And that's something I really admire with Alex and Young Bean. I like both of them. It's just the ability to just put something on a group like this and the group squares up. That's something I highly, highly commend NEXZ on. If we're looking at Gen 5 groups that are specifically like predominantly Japanese, I'm talking about NCT Wish and Anteam and NEXZ, just, off the top here. Where they're, it's boy groups who are predominantly Japanese. When it comes to movement quality, the fact they have a choreographer like Alex who just does weird stuff works really well for them because there's a sense of uniqueness and texture in their own discography, which is seeing the archive. You're also able to see their growth, right? Especially from like I vibe with the original Alex archive from way back in pre-debut. That one was filthy, but you can see more. It's not as cohesive with the group, but the texture's filthy, right? Here, they look more unified. So that's where your growth is, that everybody's able to implicitly recognize and do the textures. But you know that Alex has been a part of their discography as an anchor choreographer for so much. I mean, Hard is probably one of my favorite choreographies NEXZ has done. Probably one of my favorite choreographies of Gen 5 because of just how freaking weird and how like we can talk about that later. Anyway, going here though, I really like the toss out of it, that peekaboo, little shoulder accent out of that. That game like basketball game, peekaboo. Then did you see how seamless that transition was? Look at this, with the feet. Yeah, just a slide back, knowing where your weight goes to make it so seamless like that. Well freaking done. They accent in, sending the arm up, which is nice. That peekaboo, little shimmy. Then we have a little twist, take the arms through. Notice we have a little bit of legato in the arms once again. He pulls it through, and then we rotate. And then they go peekaboo. So we accent strange stability, right? Where we're having a balance, and then we knock the torso. That's going to promote you to want to fall over. But they are right on it. It's really nice. Very stable. And they bring it over 4-5. Come on. Then it goes peekaboo. So a lot of this is coming in. It's cool. They end up doing a little twist of flex variant to have it for that little pasta. They said, we love it. And it goes peekaboo. Why you acting tough? Like, I got my phone, turning it directionally. The choice of, why are you trying to act tough? Like on the internet, some people like to be keyboard warriors, say what they want to say, but they would never say it to your face. And I like that they use that as a window transition. And they're like, come here, let's go. They have this little moment here, good tension, like we're vomiting swag, right? And then goes Raka, really smooth transition with the other guys. Like the fact he's in all black back here and it's a black background, can freaking see him. You only notice it until about right here when you see one of them, right? Like the beam bop, boom, 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 bop. And he goes bop, bam, and you still have NEXZ as your features. And they lean it into. I kind of like the fact that we're not doing the explicit version because it makes it more family friendly to appreciate. You wouldn't understand. It's like, excuse me, what? Come on now. We accent with the kick, and they use that to help, space out, spread out. It's really nice, and you go understand. And I like that we have it accented to where we have our base of our wrist, boom, getting sent over. Really cool there. And then we bring it through, around, and then you have hand, wrist rotation, and then I like the ball change, and notice that we have this pulse going on with the chest. It's fun, and I love that they use that to help with the transition of our camera. Super cool. And then they cross it, and then they talking about nothing. And then they bring it through, and then they go, and they do a double tap with that foot with the leg to complement. Sorry, foot with the arm to complement. They send it out. They go clap. Huh? It's like, what? And we clap it, boom, low, high. Come on with the kick. It's the ATL. I think it looked like was it an ATL stomp that first time? No, it was just 2 hops. Sitting it low, and then we hop with the arms with the cross back. Cool. Then we have the little march pickup. High to low, a little Pac-Man on the lower body, so polyrhythmic, and I really appreciate we're getting the detail down to the direction of the torsos. A lot of times, you'll just see people do the extremities, legs and arms, but the fact that you even have where the chest is inflating, deflating, and tilting, it really makes it look thorough and properly practiced, or it's implicit enough with everybody in the masses here that you are able to expedite the cleaning process immensely, right? So I like that. Talking about nothing, all that is very similar. Boom, they're talking about nothing that we saw earlier, and I like the taps on that with the feet, and then we clap it, pull it in, we go, huh? And then we have our arms down, we tap it back, we step, I like with the heel, and we present it with it. He's finished, they all run away, they get to lay down on the floor first. He goes, peekaboo, he needs to look like that was easy money. We get applause for that. Wow. It doesn't surprise me, the format of this. I like that they're hyping him over on the side. Then we are hidden away. The fact that it's not just the members, it's not just the choreographers, but it's like somebody with the light, maybe a manager's there in the space, the camera person that's actually shooting this take here. All of that in play. Everybody has to be on the same page in order for this to work, right? More people can lead to more problems. If you have somebody who's not on the same page, they may end up in a shot. And the fact that this can be so fatiguing, which is what you saw, right? And having to redo a take because somebody ended up in the shot when they weren't supposed to be or the timing's off, that's the worst feeling. So I really appreciate that we took the time to make sure that we had the practice. They probably did a rehearsal mark of it to limit the amount of one takes needed. I would say, to be on the safe side, doing 2 solid takes always give you freedom of options, but this was a fantastic one take. I really loved how they, had this beginning black and white, right? So technically this whole video is booking it in the black and white filter. It's really nice. And they open it, Why Not Choreo, Youngbean Alex. I really like that they did, the name of our choreographer team, and then Youngbean and Alex, because we're giving them their genuine flowers. That's something that in behind the scenes I look at, depending on the agency, they don't give flowers to the choreographers who are working with the artists. Like I just looked at one from Key with Hunter. Baby Zoo was the choreographer, and so many of us are very familiar with him and his work. We've seen him on so many things, but they called him staff when he was working with Key, and we're like, I would love to, know whose name this person is, because they deserve, if you're not blurring their face, say their name. Like, it's okay. He's a figure in the scene. Like, that's fine. Actually, like, let people discover a really great artist as a result of watching their favorite artist, if that makes sense. So that's another thing that I really like about the archives, is it focuses on the choreographer, and the choreographer gets to do what they want, and NEXZ gets to grow in it. That's what I like about these, and I really hope they continue to do them. These are so fun. Oh my gosh. Man, you guys know me, I know you. Like I said, I am a little bit behind on NEXZ, but probably within the next week or so, I'm going to be looking at their more recent stuff. Please, if you are like, Jess, I want to see it. If it's not on YouTube, it'll probably be on Patreon. So just go look there, frolic about. There's like so many things to binge away. Go have fun. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.